In a quiet corner of an old English town stood a shop that time itself seemed to have forgotten. Its wooden sign swung gently in the winter wind, creaking like an old man's whisper. The sign read, Aldwyn Hartley, Clockmaker, since 1892. No one truly knew if Aldwyn Hartley was still alive. Some said he had died years ago, yet the clocks inside that dusty window still ticked, each one in perfect rhythm, as though the shop itself had a heartbeat. Every night, when the lamps went dim and the cobblestone streets fell silent, a faint golden glow escaped from behind those curtains. People claimed they heard whispers, soft murmurs like voices arguing in rhythm with the clocks. And sometimes, if you stood close enough, you could swear one of those clocks would stop and then start again just as you turned away. No one dared to go in. No one, except a boy named Elliot Finch. Elliot was 14, curious, quiet, and poor. His mother worked as a seamstress, and every evening he walked past that shop. He didn't know why, but something about that endless ticking made him feel safe. Like time itself was whispering, "You're not alone." One cold December night, Elliot stopped again. Snow fell softly, like white dust on an ancient book. He stared through the frosted glass, and suddenly, the door creaked open. A voice came from the shadows, old, gentle, heavy. "You can come in, boy. The cold doesn't suit your bones." Elliot froze. He hadn't touched the door. Inside, the warmth wrapped around him like old memories. Hundreds of clocks covered the walls. Grandfather clocks, pocket watches, pendulums, all ticking together in perfect harmony. The man behind the counter lifted his head, tall, thin, with eyes that seemed to hold centuries. "You're Aldwyn Hartley, aren't you?" Elliot asked. "People said you were dead." Aldwyn smiled faintly. "Ah, I've heard that rumor myself. But death, my boy, is rather punctual, and I haven't received my appointment yet." Aldwyn motioned to a stool. "Sit, Elliot. You have questions. I can see them ticking behind your eyes." Elliot leaned forward. "All your clocks tick at the same time. How do you make them do that?" Aldwyn smiled. "Because they listen." "Listen? To what?" "To me." Elliot frowned. "So you control time?" "No," Aldwyn whispered. "I only borrow it." The air changed. Aldwyn wound a small silver pocket watch, its surface glowing faintly. The ticking grew louder, faster, echoing in Elliot's chest. And suddenly, every clock in the shop stopped. Then, a low bell tolled from deep beneath the floorboards. "What was that?" Elliot gasped. "That," said Aldwyn, "was time. Remembering a promise." Elliot stared at the countless clocks. Their faces seemed almost human. Tired, mournful, full of memories. "Why do your clocks look so sad?" he whispered. "Because every clock I've made," Aldwyn said softly, "holds a second that someone wanted back. A second they lost, a second they regret." "Can you fix time?" Elliot asked. "Can you give it back?" "No," Aldwyn replied, "but I can keep it safe for those who need it." He lifted the silver watch again. "Inside this," he whispered, "is a minute I stole 60 years ago." Elliot's voice trembled. "You stole it?" "A man begged me for one more minute, to tell his wife he loved her before the train left. I took it, from the station clock. The train delayed 1 minute. He told her everything. Then the train crashed. "So you saved him?" Elliot asked. "No," Aldwin murmured. "I saved their goodbye." That night, Elliot couldn't sleep. He placed the brass watch Aldwin gave him beside his bed. It didn't tick, but when he closed his eyes, he dreamt of a corridor made of gears, glowing gold and bronze. At the end of that corridor, a woman's laughter. He reached for the door and woke up gasping. The watch was open on his pillow. Inside the glass, a reflection of that same woman smiling at him, then gone. The next day, he ran to the shop again. "It moved!" Elliot cried. "It showed me someone!" Aldwin nodded slowly. "It always does, once it remembers you." "Who was she?" Elliot whispered. "Someone whose time you carry." "But I don't know her." "Not yet," Aldwin said. "But time does. Time remembers what we forget." Aldwin opened a drawer and handed him a faded photograph. A woman with kind eyes holding lilies. Below her face, the name, Lydia Finch. Elliot froze. "That's my surname. Who is she?" "Your grandmother," Aldwin whispered. "She died at exactly 12:01, 60 years ago." Elliot looked down at the brass watch, frozen at 12:01. "You kept her minute," he whispered. "Yes," Aldwin said. "Your mother begged me for 1 minute to say goodbye. I couldn't bring her back, but I kept the second she left behind." That night, Elliot wound the watch. The candlelight bent, the air shimmered, and suddenly the world changed. He stood in a golden meadow beneath a snow-filled sky. There, a woman smiling. Warm, peaceful, familiar. "Lydia," he breathed. She turned. "You've grown, Elliot," she said softly. "I've been waiting." "Waiting for me?" "Your mother's heart still grieves," she said. "Tell her I never left. Tell her time only ends when love does, and love doesn't." "Can't you come back?" Elliot begged. She smiled, touching his cheek. "The Clockmaker gave me 1 second to say goodbye properly. But now, that second belongs to you. Don't waste it, Elliot. Every second you have is borrowed. Make it worth the price." Elliot awoke in his room. The brass watch lay open, its glass cracked, but ticking again. He understood now. Aldwin wasn't just a clockmaker. He was a keeper of borrowed moments. Elliot rushed to the shop, but the door was locked. The sign was gone. Dust covered everything. On the counter, an envelope with his name. "Dear Elliot, every clock must stop one day, even mine. But the seconds I've kept now belong to you. Use them to mend the hearts time has broken. You'll know when to pass it on. A. Hartley." Elliot touched one clock. It ticked, then another, and another, until the shop came alive again. From that day forward, people said the boy who took over the clockmaker's shop could fix more than just broken gears. He could fix regret. He could fix the past. He could fix a broken heart. With nothing but the patience of time. And though no one ever saw Aldwin Hartley again, on cold December nights a golden glow still shines from that window. If you listen closely, you'll hear 2 sets of ticking, one from the clocks, and one from a soul that never stopped keeping time.